Hi, everybody. Paul Cameron here with Speed Up My Search, IT recruiting leader and job change mentor to senior IT professionals and IT leaders around the country. And I had just recently put out a video called The Dark Side of Chat GPT, where I was trying to show employers some of the things they need to be looking out for when more and more candidates start using Chat GPT. They can not only very easily get skills put onto their resume that they don't have, but very specifically, they can prepare for interviews in a way that is very targeted, very specific to the types of questions they'll get, and even to the personality types of the interviewers. And the intent was to help employers understand what's coming, and we'll eventually get into how to create the right interview questions, those sorts of things down the line. But I had a bunch of people on the job search side who were asking, hey, how did you get your Chat GPT box to get that prompt back, right? To get those questions back from your prompt. So I thought rather than calling everybody back individually and walking them through it step by step, I would just create a quick video so I can send it to them and guide them that way. But also, if they have those questions, I'm sure other people did as well. If job seekers also watched that same video. Again, it's Risks of AI, the Dark Side of Chat GPT. So looking at the screen here, what they were referring to is I've got a form here on my page, but they put that information in here and it gives them a very detailed report of this person's DISC personality profile and what you can do with that information to make sure you build rapport quickly. But underneath it, I've got a Chat GPT prompt that if you copy this, I just hit Control C, paste it into this Chat GPT prompt, which is just, it's different colors, but it's the same. It's just a Chat GPT box that I've embedded onto the page. It gives you, very specific questions, and they're tailored to the personality type, but you don't necessarily have to do that. This is reading off of some of the information I've got embedded into my site here, and I've got, a decade of personality research and books and things that I've done. I've administered tons of these reports, but these are very specific questions. I'll show you how I came up with these. As a seasoned recruiter of a couple of decades, I have got volumes of interview strategy books and tons of different good questions to ask, and I've got a bunch of them that I've liked, right, and highlighted in all these things that I would use of, hey, these are a bunch of great questions that I liked. But if you don't have that, being on the job search side, and why would you? What I would recommend, go to a site called futuretools.io. This is a site where they have over 1,600 different AI websites and applications that can do things for you, essentially using AI. It's a really cool way to find a lot of these resources. You can narrow it down by specifically what you're looking for, but I went through all of them. And one of them is called interview.ai.io, which if you are an employer, this is a great site if you need to come up with interview questions for a specific discipline that you're not totally familiar with. And you can just click here on role search. You don't even need to fill in the first name, last name, all that kind of stuff. And then pick whatever it is you want to get questions about, say general software engineering, receive AI generated questions and answers. I click on that. And here's a bunch of questions. So then what I would do is go over to ChatGPT with those questions in mind. I went through them and picked out a bunch that I liked, and I'm just walking you through the string that I used to come up with the specific prompts that I needed to generate those questions. And the first thing that's important about this is to realize I'm asking it to generate a prompt. I want to find out what the prompt is that's creating these questions. I'm not asking directly for the questions. Does that make sense? So I'm asking it for the best way to ask it for what I want, which I found to be a very effective way to go about this. So basically, I told it what's going on. Hey, I found this site as an embedded Chat GPT box, generates good questions that a company might ask a job candidate based on the specific job title. How can I figure out what prompt that they're using to create the output that they're getting? Right? Yeah, it might not be possible, and gives a bunch of ideas. Based on a couple of your points here, can you help me to identify the structures and phrasing and styles and patterns all these questions that I liked that it had asked. And then I just pasted their questions in there, and it went through and did an analysis of those questions and what was similar, what was, not so similar, that kind of thing, and tried to come up with a prompt here for me. And to further refine it, I gave another example. I found another set of questions and dropped those in there. It analyzed those and kicked back another template. So generate experience-focused interview questions for and you can replace this with just title of whatever job it is you're going after, position that cover key aspects of the role, such as technical skills, teamwork, and problem solving. Provide follow-up questions that ask for specific examples or details about the candidate's approach. And that's how it came to be. And I went on to have it write code for me to put together a form that I could drop onto my site that will kick back exactly what I need. But that's really it. The biggest takeaway here when you're using Chat GPT is, instead of just asking for the thing that you want, you're asking for it to help you to create the best prompt that's going to help you to get what you want. So you have the opportunity here, without sounding offensive or weird or whatever. If this was a human being, hey, what's the best way I can ask you this and get what I want, right? Which would be strange, but it's, it's a computer. So you say, hey, what's the best way I can ask this and get exactly what I need? All right, so I hope that's helpful for you. If you have other questions about ChatGPT or how to come up with some of the stuff that I've come up with for cover letters or networking messages or resume bullet points along those lines, please reach out. And if enough of you reach out, I'll just make another video and put it out there for everyone. Okay, hope that helps. It's time to get to work.